This right here is one of the best mining spots in the game. As you can see, there is over 8 iron ore as well as 6 coal ore nodes, which means you can get all your ingots and all your refined ingots from this place alone. And if you've been playing the game for a little while, you know that you're going to need thousands of both of these items in order to craft some of the late game stuff in a decent quantity. So I'm going to let you know exactly where this base is and how to get really good value from here without even having to place a pal box here. So as you can see, this spot is really a gold mine because everything is so close together, as well as it provides you all the materials you need for the ingots and the refined ingots. And this is the exact location of the base, so 189 minus 38. Now in reference to the rest of the map, this is the beginning plateau. So when you get a flying mount in one of these spots, you can basically just fly up straight here to where the sealed rim of the guardian is. You get a TP point here or here, and then it's quite easy to reach here from there. And another reference is the Free Pal Alliance Tower. It's literally just south of here. As you can see, the tower is right there. So this spot obviously needs a flyer to reach it, which means you can't get it right at the beginning, but since you can get a flower at level 15. So one of your best options early game would be to place a pal box right here. And then that means that your pals that you would put here that have mining would automatically mine everything in the radius of the pal box. Now, sadly, the radius of the pal box will go all over the edges, which means a lot of your pals will bug and fall off of the edges and not be able to get back up and will eventually die of hunger or break their bones and all kind of stuff. So it is kind of inconvenient. You can do it at the beginning if you have only 1 or 2 bases, and then you can put the third one here or the second one here. But as you can see, I already have multiple bases all around the map. So it is going to be very hard for me to put a pal box here because I don't want to destroy my other boxes. But the best way in order to mine this place efficiently otherwise will be to use wooden chests that you can basically just place nearby these nodes. You try and be as close as possible to many of them. And then what you would do is basically this: you will mine it manually. Make sure to use one of these refined metal pickaxe or metal pickaxe. The higher level, the better, as they mine way more than the previous level. And then you simply go to town and mine it yourself. It will take you about 10 minutes to mine this entire island. It's really not a big deal. Now, once you've done, a lot of these, you obviously come and empty your inventory in here every time so that your weight doesn't hinder you. And then you do the whole thing over and over. Now, we'll be taking all the coal, all the iron. How do you bring it back to your base, you would ask, right? Because obviously the weight, as you can see at the bottom here, my weight is now almost at the max, and here I am now overweight, so now I'm walking super slowly. So I will be basically coming here and putting everything in this box. Now, how is it that you can empty this entire island and then go back to your base? It's actually very simple. In a server where you do not drop everything on death, especially because you can put everything in the box and then load yourself up, even if you are overweight. As you can see, I can't even move at all right now. But what I could be doing is simply respawn, and in this case, obviously I die, but the materials don't drop off my inventory when the settings are this way, which means that you will be able to simply respawn in your own base. Even if you can't move with the weight, it is really not a huge deal in this case. As you will see, I will go to my base right now, and I will be basically having all the materials on me. Now, I still can't move, so how do you get closer to the pal box? Simply, you drop the ore on the ground, then you come close to your box here, and then you collect it, turn around, and drop it. So obviously, it's a little bit tedious. It can be a bit annoying to do that all the time, but you will be able to mine very, very easily hundreds, if not thousands, of these ores. You simply go to the island every few hours, and it resets, and then you keep mining it, put everything in the chest. So this is the best option when you have no way of dying and losing all your items. And obviously, if your server is like that, this is going to be the very easy way to do so. Now, coming back to the island, of course, if you cannot put a pal box, which is the easiest way to do it, and you have settings that make it so that you drop your items on death, your only other option will be to you will try and fill up this chest with everything you can. And then once the chest is filled up to a certain amount where, you've mined everything on this island and it is too heavy for you, you will have a few ways of getting back to your base with all of this weight. There is a few things you can do. One of your option would be to have certain pets like this. The Pal's Bronze Cherry is one of them. There's a few more that have this ability. While in your team, it helps you carry supply, increasing your max capacity. This is something you can level up as well by merging multiple brancheries together, and this will give you 100 more and then 10 more per level. So you can have 100 pounds more of weight, and then you can have like 4 branchery and 1 flying mount in your inventory, so then you can fly between your bases and carry a decent amount. The other way will be a little bit more tedious, but let's say I remove some of this to put back in the box just so that I have not too much weight. So I'm at 799, as you can see, out of 800. The other way will be a bit simpler but a bit complicated in the terms that it'll take you quite a bit of time. You just basically spot the closest TP point, whether it's this tower or it is the one that I'm going to down here. There's a few ways of doing it. You can glide down, use a flying mount, but basically your best bet will be to bring it to a TP point and do exactly what I did earlier. So of course you will have to do this back and forth quite a few times because you'll mine thousands of pounds worth of minerals, but in the end of the day it is still one of the fastest way to do it. So you will come really close to this teleportation so that you can access the fast travel. Then you will try and build a chest as close as possible that you can right here, and then you will be basically transferring from the chest on top of the mountain where all your ore, and you will be basically filling it up. And once this chest is fully filled up with thousands and thousands of ores, you will do exactly what we did earlier, but instead of dying you'll be teleporting. So you'll basically try and make it so that one way you can click at this, the other way you can click. So you can see I can click both of them here. So then I would load up my inventory and make myself too heavy, and then I will click this and fast travel to wherever my base is. So this will work, but it will just basically require that you bring whatever your max weight capacity is from on top of the mountain to here a few times back and forth until you have everything you need, and then from here you teleport to your base with a excessive amount of weight, even though you can't move. And then once you are back to your base, you do the trick that I showed you earlier, where you come here, you drop everything on the ground, you come here. It's it's gonna be a little bit annoying, but obviously I'm not supposed to be able to move. But let's say I can't move, drop it again, and then you take it and then you deposit it back in here. Really, that spot is incredible. It really adds a lot of ease in terms of doing this. Putting a power box up there is the easiest, but in any case, this is going to be one way to get these materials because they're quite hard to find otherwise, and this is really going to save you a lot of time. So hopefully you guys like this. There's quite a few locations like this in the game, so the trick that I'm using in order to move really high quantities of things around is going to work anywhere, it doesn't matter. Make sure to put little marks like this so that you remember where they are when you are doing it, and you will never look again for these materials in the game. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next video.